Thank you so much to Dr. Dread, the Patreon sponsor for this video. Hello everyone, my name is AndrewAJT, and today we're going to be looking at loot from 2,700 Dagannoth Kings kills. So this is a boss I've been doing for a long time. In my previous DKs video, I finished off with around 7,500 total kills, and in the end of this video, my kill count is going to be around 10,200, and that is combined kill count, so all of the Dagannoth Kings, and I'm going to show you all of the loot from them. The main reason, though, I'm doing Dagannoth Kings is to get the pet. So the drop rate for a Dagannoth Kings pet is 1 in 5,000. Because I was at 7,500 at the end of the last video, it means I was a little bit unlucky. It's reasonable to expect at least one of any of the Dagannoth Kings pets, with the kill count combined being that high. But of course, I'm not giving up. I've been doing Dagannoth Kings still since then and getting a lot more kills, so we're going to get around 2,700 more chances by the end of this video, so we'll see if I get lucky. If I do get the pet, it's just going to be a random time in this video. I'm not going to save it for the end or anything. In fact, a lot of these clips, or just about all of them, are going to be in chronological order. I recorded all my drops during this time span, so you can see all the rings I've gotten. Of course, the other great thing about doing Dagannoth Kings nowadays is with the Fremennik Elite Diary, I can pick up noted Dagannoth King bones, which are around 8 to 10,000 each, so it's a little bit of nice guaranteed money while you're going for the pets. So let's get right into the loot. So obviously, I'm going to get a lot of rings in this video. There's the first one with the warrior ring, the cheapest one. There's another archer's ring. This video is going to be pretty fast-paced. I'm not going to commentate every drop because I don't even know how I would do that. I'm not going to be like, oh, archer's ring. Oh, look at that Berserker ring. You know, I'm just going to talk over these clips, but I am getting a lot of rings, and don't worry, I will tally them up at the end of this video, and I'm just going to talk about other stuff while that is going on. There's actually plenty to talk about. One thing I noticed right away, and I'll show a couple of the troll drops too, like the Seer Call, there's a lot of rare drop table things in this as well. You can see, like right there, shield left half. That's pretty unlucky. That might even be rarer than the pet itself. Also, you're going to see some gear upgrades in this video. But yes, while going through these clips, I noticed the prices of the rings have actually gone up dramatically. So maybe the start of this video, the archer's ring was like 4 mil or whatever, and now it's around 6 mil. The only thing that's gone down have been the bones. The bones have gone down quite significantly. They were close to 10,000 last video, and now they are right around 8,000 or maybe 8,500, which is kind of disappointing to see. I guess more people are grinding this, but I don't know why the rings have gone up so much, but then you look at all the other prices in game, like the God Wars items, for example. The Armored Chestplate is like 45 mil or something last I checked. And I guess it has to do with the GP inflation of the game. There's probably more GP coming into the game than going out of it. As we look at our first major gear upgrade here, people might think, oh, well, there's staking tax, and that's taking a lot of GP out of the game, but honestly, it's probably only a drop in the bucket because the amount of people who are alking every day and even just doing Slayer and alking their drops and all that stuff and getting coin drops from different things, it really does make me question whether GP inflation is having an effect in the game or not. I don't know a lot more about it. You know, there's people who are expert merchers in the game and they know how the GE works in really deep ways. I don't know a lot of that stuff. There's the archer's ring already 5 mil a few minutes into this video, but it really does make me wonder why the prices of these items just keep going up, 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 even though these items have been in the game for over 6 years now. And for example, the archer's ring, you'd think there's probably about 1 million archer's rings or something like that in game. I mean, people do Dagannoth Kings trips where they have a bajillion kills. There's a dragon spear, by the way, another very rare item. And yet, even with all those archer rings in the game, it's still a very high price now and probably at its all-time high. A counter argument to this might be that there's a lot more people playing the game now than before, so there's more demand for one because, you know, everyone has to have an archer's ring. And plus, you can imbue it, it's a very good item, but still, some items that are very easy to get, such as the Dagannoth King rings, are still ridiculously expensive right now. But it's good for me because I'm the one getting them. The other thing I wanted to talk a little bit about is the drop rate system for pets in old school RuneScape. And by the way, I don't really care what Dagannoth King's pet I get, I just want one of them. The great thing about these bosses is you're pretty much always killing one, you're not really just sitting around in between kills, so theoretically the pet is a little bit faster than other pets. For example, the God Wars pets have the same drop rate, but you're waiting 90 seconds between kills, so here you can just keep moving on. I would probably want the Dagannoth Prime pet first, and then the Rex one second, and then the Supreme one after that. However, I just really want one of them at least, and then maybe if I get one, I'll move on to getting more of them. The unique thing about the old school RuneScape pet drop rate system is it's completely independent of your existing kill count. So your first 100 Dagannoth Kings kills would have the same chance of getting a pet as me doing another 100, even though I have a lot more kill count than someone doing it for their first time. And this is actually a lot different than RuneScape 3. RuneScape 3 has a system where the more kills you do, the higher the chance you have of getting the pet. And this does not necessarily make it easy. You still need to do a ton of kills, from what I understand, before the drop rate becomes anything reasonable. But if you did like thousands of kills on a boss on RuneScape 3 and didn't get the pet, your chances would eventually become quite reasonable enough where you almost certainly would get the pet after a short period of time. The question is, should they add this to old school? And I actually don't think this would change much in old school, because very few people actually do what I'm doing here and kill like 5 or 10,000 of a boss. What most people do, myself included, is kill maybe a few hundred of many bosses. Like, if you kill a few hundred of like 10 different bosses, you're bound to get a pet from one of them. And then when you get that pet at like 100 kill count, you think, wow, I'm super lucky. Well, it's really not that lucky, because if you factor in all the kills for bosses that you don't have pets in, it all kind of averages out because you're bound to get a pet from one of them. So theoretically, the RuneScape 3 drop rate system wouldn't actually benefit many people, because not many people are getting into those really deep kill counts. The only situations it would really affect are these, like what you're seeing, where you have a very high kill count for a boss and you're starting to get very unlucky. Although you could also argue that people's bossing habits would change a little bit if this system was in place. However, my personal opinion is that this should not be added to old school RuneScape. I kind of like the randomness crazy element to it, and as much as it's weird to say, randomness is a big fun factor in this game. It's really cool to see someone get a pet at 1 kill count or something, and then see another person go 15,000 dry at a God Wars boss and finally get the pet and have that huge sense of achievement. So even though it can be unfair, the random element is actually kind of entertaining in my view. Let me know if you disagree with this though, or if you do agree with this. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should they add this threshold system to old school where it's more likely to get a pet the more bosses you've killed? I'm actually pretty curious to see what people think about this. And don't be afraid to disagree with me. It's amazing how this boss has changed over the years. I remember doing it maybe 2007 or so, and it was quite difficult back then. You couldn't really do this boss as a solo player, because back then people just weren't that skilled, and the gear was significantly worse. You had the Abyssal Whip, DDS, Magic Shortbow, Rune Crossbow, and maybe Slayer Dart to kill all these bosses, and now you have the Twisted Bow, Trident, and I'm also going to be buying the Grazi Rapier shortly in this video, which is a big help for Supreme. You also couldn't really risk going here by yourself back then, because if you died with your best gear, it would appear on the ground immediately for everyone else to see, so you'd really want your buddy there to pick it up, and if no one was there to pick it up, it would disappear within a few minutes, whereas nowadays you have an hour to get back, which is much more lenient. Maybe that's just the way things have to be now though, because of the instability of the servers, and just the fact that you can die and it might always not be your fault. It's weird to think about now, but there was also no streaming back then, so people wouldn't necessarily know what you're up to in game. Here's the big upgrade. It's actually not that much of an upgrade over the Abyssal Tentacle, but the nice thing is it's non-degradable, so I can use this forever, whereas the Tentacle I have to replace every 10,000 hits. So we're coming to the end of the loot section in this video. Here's the final big loot kill, so here we go. Am I going to get the Dagannoth Supreme pet? This is actually a duo with someone in the clan chat. Here we go. I'm going to type the message in chat. Let's see, can I get the pet here? This is our last shot. Come on. Nope, but we actually got an Archer's Ring. Wow, that's pretty good. One of my only duo loots in this video. There's actually a few earlier, but that's going to be the end for the main loots, and let's tally them up and see what I got. So with roughly around 2,700 killed, I should expect to receive around 7 of each ring, with the 1 in 128 drop rate of each. So the Archer's Ring I got very lucky with. I got 10 of those, so I almost got like 3 extra. So that's 60 mil with modern day pricing. Obviously they weren't all worth 6 mil at the time, but it would be very hard to go back and do all that math. The Berserker Ring I got kind of unlucky with. I only got 4 of those, but still pretty nice 15 mil there. The Seers Ring I got about average luck with. I got 6 of those for 3.6 mil. The Warrior Ring I didn't get very lucky with. I only got 4 of those, which is 260k. I might have actually gotten 1 or 2 more. There was a couple instances where I think I got a Warrior's Ring like 2 hours into a trip, and I didn't really feel like saving a very long recording for a Warrior's Ring. Next time I'll definitely just bite the bullet and save the recording nonetheless, although that wouldn't have changed the total loot very much. Of course, I also got the guaranteed drop of 2,700 Dagannoth Kings bones, which is 8.3k each, and that equals around 22.5 mil. I also got a lot of alks, minor drops, clue loots, things like that, seer coals, mud battle stabs, dragon axes. Those actually add up quite well to maybe like 500k a trip or so, although that's just a rough estimate. So in total I made around 110 mil GP from Dagannoth Kings this time around, which is quite good, and this is definitely one of the better money makers in the game. Sadly, I continue to be unlucky with the pet. It seems like I should have had around a 90% chance or so, based on some calculations I did online with probability. Some of you guys in the comments who know more about probability might be able to give me a more definitive number for a 1 in 5,000 chance occurring within 10,200 tries. I'm not exactly sure what it would come to, but I'm not going to give up anytime soon. I definitely had a good time doing all these Dagannoth Kings. It's definitely one of my favorite bosses to do, and I don't have any worries that I'm going to get a pet very soon. I think when I actually do get it, it's going to be very, very exciting, and I'm going to freak out. I always record these clips with the mic on, so when that does happen, you guys are going to hear me pretty much freak out. So that's probably going to do it for this video. Let me know if you guys have any of the Dagannoth Kings pets yourselves, and let me know what kill count you got them on. Wish me some luck as well. Also, which is your favorite Dagannoth Kings pet? Like I said, mine is definitely the prime one. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably like my Dagannoth Kings playlist. I have other videos where I do a lot of kills, such as 2500, and tally the rings up at the end, just like I did in this video. In some of those videos, I actually had very different luck with the rings, so you might be curious to see how those turned out. I'll put that playlist in the end screen and also in the description. Please like this video if you enjoyed, that really helps me out. Also, you can subscribe with the bell notifications if you haven't already. That's the best way to see my new videos, which are uploaded every Tuesday. You're welcome to join my clan chat, AndrewAJT62. That'll be up on screen, just my general PvM, PvP, anything goes type of clan chat. We actually have a lot of people who do DKs in the clan chat, and I go with clan members pretty often actually, because it speeds up the kills. Even if you can't join the clan chat, you can join my Discord down below. You're definitely welcome in there. You can follow me on Twitter down below for updates, and I'll follow you back if you play RS. You can also follow me on Twitch down below for occasional bossing live streams. And if you're feeling extra generous, you can support me on Patreon with the link in the end screen. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.